there a question you're trying to answer as you move through life?
I can answer that in two ways. There used to be questions that I was wanting to answer in life. I don't think I did a great job in either asking the question or answering it.
Right.
And then and now I feel that probably there are no questions to ask. It's just about enjoying every moment of your life the way you go through it. And questions actually come in the way.
Right.
So that's the way I've gone through a short part of the last few years. And when I wrote this book that you see here, YOGAi, I don't know if it's making any sense to you or to anybody else, but after a while, the book started writing itself. And that gave me a sense of growth and actually proved to me that there's no point asking questions, right? Just flow with it, and you have all your answers, and they're all within you, and they keep coming to you. And as long as you can flow with life, you find that the limited mind that gets in your way all the time, that kind of slowly starts moving back, and when it recedes, it's there just to help you and not run your life for you.
How would you how would you explain the development or the shift from asking questions, maybe not even asking the best questions as you're referring to what you've just said there in terms of, a book writing itself or a flow in life?
That's a very, very interesting. Actually, you made me go a little further back in my life. So I used to do a lot of work in the design thinking space. I was one of the few people, or our company, Ideafarms, was one of the companies that came into design thinking less from theory and more from practice. And our opening statement in those workshops, my personal opening statement was that we've grown up in a world of answers. And I would say that, and also, we've grown up also in a world of right answers. Now, right answers is not really a very interesting way of going through life, because what then happens is that you don't learn anything more. Once you have a right answer, then you don't want to learn anything more. And that worked really well in the workshopping space, where we would say, well, from right answers, you need to be able to get to good questions, right? So when we got to that point, I felt, good questions, right answers, they're both actually, concepts in the mind. And that shift really doesn't let you off the hook, so to speak. What tends to happen is that you kind of pivot from one space to the other, but they're both the same, two sides of the same coin. And so I guess what tended to happen was I started seeing this whole thing about, when you ask a question, you get an answer, whether it's a right answer or it's an emergent answer, or it's something that comes to your mind at that point of time. I found that every time something came to me where I was not making the effort, it was a lot easier. And the answer was much richer, because I wasn't limiting, I wasn't limiting. It's typically, okay, let me give you a very quick analogy for this. When you go out with a questionnaire or a survey or a poll, you're actually looking for someone or some number or some statistic to validate what you're already thinking,
Yeah.
right? And if you do away with those tools, then you tend to listen to the other person, when any other people that you're talking to. And what tends to happen is that you start eliciting stories. And stories are very interesting because they have an emotional component, and also they have insights which are embedded in them, which you can actually, some of those insights you can actually perceive or see, right? And so when you put all of this together, what I suddenly realized was that, well, there's no point asking questions, looking for answers, nothing. They're all there. It's kind of like you have an antenna. When you need something, the universe is very kind.